Hello, it's Jordan from AudaCity Capital, and I've got a very exciting video for us today. I'm here with probably one of our most successful traders from the UK, managing over $500,000 in capital. Can you introduce yourself and maybe give a little bit of a background of your story, how you got into trading? That'd be great.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Lukman. I got introduced to trading quite a number of years ago. It was actually my brother and one of my friends who introduced me to trading. And that's when I started looking into it a bit more, started learning about everything pretty much. And it's been a bit of a roller coaster journey, if I'm honest. Lots of ups and downs, lost money, made money, and eventually kind of got to a stage where I took a step back, started trading a bit more longer term time frames, because initially, as with everyone, when you first get introduced to trading,
it's a whirlwind, isn't it? You don't know, what you're looking at, what you're doing. So kind of like, you're gambling and guessing at the early stages, aren't you?
Well, yeah, that's it. And people get overexcited, and I'm a culprit with that myself.
Yeah.
So,
so am I.
You can go from $100 to $1 million within a couple of weeks, right?
Yep.
And you get overly excited, but as time went along with experience, like I said, going through quite a roller coaster of a journey, eventually kind of got to a stage where took a step back, reevaluated everything, learned along the way as well. And over the past couple of years, I've been way more consistently profitable.
Amazing.
But yeah, like I said, the journey's been a bit of a roller coaster.
Yeah, of course. So how many years do you reckon it's been roughly? How many years have you been trading?
So I say trading live, probably about 5-6 years, I'd say.
6 years, amazing.
Live,
yeah, great.
But when I was introduced was a few years before that. But it wasn't until 5-6 years when I really put my foot down, really got going and made some serious progress.
Amazing. So how did you learn to trade? Was it kind of, did you just take it up on your own merit? Or did you go through courses? I know there's a lot of paid courses out there and a lot of gurus who promote a lot of stuff online. So what was your kind of process of learning?
So initially when my brother did introduce me, we kind of done a course together.
Oh, amazing.
So that was my first initial introduction into trading. And like with any course, when you first start, you go through like the bare basics. So went through courses, but at the same time, online there's a ton of material. A lot of good, but a lot of misconceptions as well, right? So mainly learning independently, going through courses as well. But I've been through many courses. Like when you first start, you try a course, they might teach you a strategy. You try the strategy, you think it works, but then later you realize that I'm not making so much money now. Then you flip strategies, jump into a different course, etc. So predominantly I learned through courses, but a lot of independent learning as well. Just various websites, from YouTube to Google searches, through everything really. That was the main way I learned myself.
I think it's a similar approach with many traders. They kind of jump on one course. I was in the same position. Then I'll jump on another because that didn't give it a long enough time for the strategy to work out and actually be a winning strategy because I didn't give it the time. So I was very much in the same boat in that aspect. So you're obviously very successful now, managing a lot of capital. So what is the strategy that you've kind of used now to be the successful trader and the position you're currently in?
Yeah, so like I said, I went through many different courses, many different strategies, EMAs, price action, etc., head and shoulders. But eventually I kind of put my foot down on price action and focusing on like support and resistance levels, and just really focusing on that. And for me, when I first initially started trading live, I was concentrating more on the higher time frames, so mainly like the daily time frames, the 12 hours, 8 hours, so a lot of longer term trading. At the same time, I was working full time as well, so it just gave me that bit of it. When you trade the higher time frames, it gives me a bit more time during the day to work or do whatever it's up to do. So that's kind of where, when I started trading live, I concentrated most of my time on. But over the past year or so, I'd say I've been trying to go down to more short time frames. Because what I found myself when I'm trading the daily or the 12-hour time frames, trades could go on for weeks sometimes, and risk management is very important.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you're risking say 1% on a trade and you've already got 1 or 2 trades on, but those trades are taking weeks to close, it can get a bit frustrating.
Yeah.
And over time, I'm slowly but surely I'm going on the more lower time frames, so I can get in and out of trades a lot quicker.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. So are you currently now a full-time trader, or are you still doing it part-time?
No, so at the moment I'm still working full-time.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm trying to balance both working full-time as well as trading. I had a bit of time off in the summer, so that gave me a lot more time to concentrate more on trading.
Fantastic.
And be a bit more full-time in trading.
Yeah.
But over the past month or so, I've been working full-time as well. So I'm just trying to find the right balance to...
Yeah, sometimes it's difficult, isn't it?
It's difficult, when you're working full-time to get the right time to look at the charts, place the trades, do your analysis. But to be fair, like I've kind of got to the point where, because I've got a number of years experience, and probably most traders will say the same thing, but you don't really need to stay in front of your charts for 8, 9, 10 hours a day.
No.
Essentially, you've got to wait for the right setups, let the market come to you, right? So once I've analyzed the markets, I kind of walk away and just set alerts.
That's the thing, isn't it? Because now you can set alerts and you can be triggered when you need to be looking at the market, so you don't have to stare at it constantly. So
exactly, definitely. So that's kind of what I do now. But again, it's quite tricky just trying to find the right balance, working full time and trying to trade at the same time as well.
Because it's tiring as well, isn't it? Working full time and then go home to maybe look at the charts again. Like, the work don't stop.
Absolutely,
yeah. Sure. So how did you find out about AudaCity Capital? Was there kind of like because obviously there's a lot of prop firms out there in the space currently. Was there like a unique selling point for you that made you swerve to AudaCity?
Yeah, to be fair, I came across AudaCity many years ago. Back when you used to have some of the more older kind of evaluation challenges.
Instant funding,
slightly different. At the time, one of the things that attracted me to AudaCity was you were based in London, right?
Yes,
and had offices in London, and for me that was quite important because it's a lot easier to communicate with people who are in your own city. Because a lot of prop firms I've been funded before, and they've gone down under, and then you've lost, lost everything that you worked towards. You've lost it, and if you had any profits, then you can't get your profits because they've been shut down. So it's happened to me a few times where prop firms that I've been funded with, they've gone down under. So AudaCity, one of the things that was quite important for myself was, I'm based in London. Obviously, you guys have an office in London as well. So that was probably one of my most important things when looking at prop firms. But at the same time, also the fact that you guys have been in the industry for well over 10 years now. So being with a prop firm that's been there for quite a number of years gives it that sort of reputation.
And that's quite rare now, isn't it? You kind of got firms popping up every day. So having that longevity, it must be important for you as a trader.
It is, and having that relationship with a prop firm that that are reliable, that you are going to get paid out, etc. It's obviously very important for not just myself, but for any trader.
Yeah, definitely. So you started off your career with AudaCity with a $240,000 ability challenge, is that correct? Yeah. So what was your mindset trading a large scale account like that? Did it change the outlook that you maybe had to change your strategy a little bit, and
Not really, if I'm honest with you, because when I was funded with previous prop firms, I was trading 6-figure accounts back then as well. But the way I like to look at trading is following your process is the most important thing. So whether you're managing a 10,000 account, 100,000, or even $1 million, right? The process doesn't change. It's just the lot size essentially that changes, and the amount you risk, obviously. But at the same time, that can have a psychological aspect where you think, oh my gosh, I'm risking way more than I used to before. And that could have a negative effect on your psychological mindset. But the way I personally look at it is whether I'm trading a 10,000 account or a $1 million account, right? It's the exact same process. The only thing that changes is, the monetary value that you're actually trading. But the actual process itself doesn't necessarily change. And that's always been my kind of mindset. I
think that's where traders kind of go wrong when they get their big capital accounts, because they look at it and the strategy doesn't change. The strategy worked on the lower accounts, so it's going to work on the bigger accounts as well. So it's a great mindset to have. So you managed to scale your $240,000 account all the way to 500,000. How was the process of doing that? Because obviously that's a great achievement, by the way. Did you have any roadblocks in the way that's kind of stopped you in your tracks?
I mean, I wouldn't like to call them roadblocks because as a trader, you're always going to go through drawdown periods.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I did go through drawdown periods, but again, through my back testing, through my experience trading the strategy that I am trading, I know that I will hit 5, 6, maybe even up to 10 losing trades in a row. But again, that's just the probabilities of trading, of any trading system, right? So I wouldn't necessarily call it a roadblock for myself. It's just part of trading where you will go through drawdown periods. So a lot of people might see that as a roadblock, as a challenge, and it is a psychological challenge when you do hit 5, 6 plus losing trades in a row. At the end of the day, you're only human, right?
Yeah.
So it's quite natural for that to take a psychological toll. But for myself, roadblocks, I wouldn't call it a roadblock. I'd more call it part and parcel of trading, and it's the process that any trader would go through. Even professional traders go through drawdown periods. So I think that's something that anyone who trades will definitely have to get used to, and you will eventually go through drawdown periods. So that was a challenge, but following your plan, having your backtesting results in front of you, having your live results in front of you, knowing what to expect, that's something that helps me get through any sort of drawdown periods or roadblocks, if you'd like to call it that.
So it sounds like you got very good psychological backing when it comes to trading. So how did you work on that? Because I know a lot of traders, especially new traders coming into the game, it's very hard to work on your psychological. You get a lot of fear, you get greed. How did you personally work on it to make it solid?
So when I first started trading, a lot of my time was spent on technical analysis. A lot of my time was spent on strategy hopping. But the one thing I didn't really knuckle down on was the psychological aspect. And my, I don't know what the word is, but my the time when my trading transformed was when I actually concentrated on my psychological aspect, and a lot of that was done through just, to be honest, YouTube videos, but also reading books from reputable traders. Trading in the Zone, Mark Douglas. I'd say that was probably one of the moments where that really changed my trading for me. Because I'm not sure if you've read it yourself.
I have,
You have, So you'd know that he talks a lot about trading as being just probabilities, essentially, right?
Exactly.
And when you shift your mindset from, looking at trading in terms of probabilities rather than, here's a new strategy and I can make 70-80% win rate and whatnot, that was when my trading shifted, and I became a lot more profitable because I was concentrating more on the processes, the probabilities, rather than strategy hopping and how much money I can make. But so how I learned and how I really got my psychological game on point was definitely through just researching, reading the right books. Like I said, Mark Douglas is a big one for me. And some other books as well, but really concentrating on psychological mindset rather than just technical analysis, and because there's so many strategies out there.
That's the thing, isn't it?
You're never going to learn 10, 20, 30 strategies, right?
No.
But the most important thing is learn on strategy, work on your psychological game, and eventually just follow the process and the results. Even though there will be drawdown periods and you will lose money along the way, that's just trading, but if you follow the process, you will get your results.
So would you say that's more important than putting 60% of your effort into a strategy and kind of putting the psychological work in the background? Would you say it's more important than working on your strategy overall?
For me, working in a psychological mindset is definitely more important. Definitely more important, because you can have the worst strategy in the world, right? But you can have an amazing mindset and you can still be profitable. But then you can put someone who's, got an amazing strategy, but not the best of mindsets, and, they might turn out unprofitable. And yes, strategy matters a lot, don't get me wrong. But I think from my personal experience, the psychological aspect cannot be, you can't underestimate that. It's for myself, it's probably the most important part of trading.
I can agree more. Definitely. So you've managed to get around 4 or 5 payouts. Is that correct? That roughly?
I think think 3 or 4.
Three or four
moment,
payouts.
Yeah.
What was the feeling like once you receive them payouts, like your hard work is paid off, you're actually making money now? How was that feeling?
A lot of relief.
Yeah.
A lot of relief because, again, you work towards something for a number of years. And like I said, it does take a psychological toll over the years. And to be fair, I would never have thought that, I'd be managing that much capital. And when you do get those payouts, it's more relief. It's more relief, satisfaction. And you are a bit, not proud in the arrogant sense, but just proud that your hard work has paid off.
Yeah.
And again, it's years of hard work, and a lot of people might think that, they can buy a prop firm challenge and pass it within a few weeks and get a payout within a few weeks. But you just have to concentrate on the long game.
100%.
And, when you are trading for a number of years and you do eventually reach those targets, it's definitely relieving.
Yeah, I bet. So if you don't mind answering this, what is your biggest payout with AudaCity Capital currently?
Biggest payout, I think it's about 6K, I believe.
6K, amazing.
6K.
Yeah.
Yeah,
fantastic.
I mean, that's after the profit split.
Yeah.
But I believe it's around that ball mark.
Yeah, definitely. That's amazing. So what would be your advice to maybe new traders or traders that are currently struggling, maybe to pass a prop firm challenge or just to get going, really? What would be your word of advice to traders?
Really concentrate on the psychological aspect. Yes, choose a strategy, backtest the strategy as much as you can. 200, 300, 400 trades, no matter how many trades that is. Make sure you have a couple of hundred of trades of backtesting results. Make sure you journal each and every deal as you possibly can, because that's where you build your foundations for the strategy that you're learning. Don't buy any prop firm challenges until you can prove to yourself that you can be somewhat profitable. And just concentrate on working in the psychological game, whether that's courses, YouTube videos, books, whatever it is. Try and spend a lot more time working on your mindset, rather than just trying to get, one strategy to another. Definitely concentrate way more time on the psychological aspect of trading rather than strategies and technical analysis. And
yeah, it's great advice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. So now that you're kind of sitting in a really good position, you're managing $500,000 with AudaCity. So what is your next goal to hit?
I mean, more funding is always, you can't complain, right?
Of course.
If you have more funding. No, I mean, my goal would be to scale up again, but at the same time, try and build my own personal capital as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, just try and increase my funding, and work in my funding accounts and try and work on my personal accounts as well.
I think that's the best thing to do. Have the prop firm, make the profits with the prop firm accounts, and then funnel that money into a personal and grow that alongside, because you can't really go wrong with more money trading, so that's fantastic. So thank you so much for the interview, and thank you for your time. It's been absolutely amazing. I hope the viewers have got some great insight and some great tips on how they can become a successful trader, just like in your position. So I wish nothing but the best and continued success, and I hope you keep growing your capital. So thank you very much for taking the interview.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you
very much.
Thank
Appreciate
you very much.
it. Thank you.